Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Princess Link. Welcome back to Metal Gear Solid. My brother's in the shower right now, so if you hear anyone, that's what's good. That's what's good. I'm supposed to be writing a college essay, but I don't wanna. And I'm struggling. It's hard, okay? Level chapter 19. Yay. A level 6 pan card opened the door to the maintenance building. Snake stepped inside, SOCOM ready, and was met by a wave of heat. How many chapters are there actually? 24, 26, 26, and an epilogue, which is one page. And was met by a wave of heat. It was as if he'd just stepped into a sauna, although there was no heat steam in the air. The place was noisy, too, with the industrial rumbling of heavy machinery echoing throughout a vast area. The room was as large as the other gymnasium-sized spaces in the Shadow Moses facility, but in this case, Snake was at the top looking down at a cacophony of metal that was bathed in a warm orange glow. He stood on a grid platform from which catwalks extended in different directions. One led to a metal staircase on the left side of the room. The stairs descended to another level of catwalks and so on, for what appeared to be 4 floors. The bottom of the expanse was a smelting pit, full of yellow hot molten steel. I thought it was supposed to be lava. Just random lava. You know, it'd be like that, okay? It's a video game. Plenty of video games have random lava. I'm not gonna list them, but I could. Actually, I couldn't, because there's a lot. The point is, there's a lot. Snake spotted 2 genome soldiers in the northeastern corner of the lowest floor. Behind them was a large door that led to what appeared to be a cargo elevator. That was where it needed to go. Unfortunately, there were surveillance cameras and at least 2, sometimes 3 guards standing on every landing, all the way down. Given the angles involved, there was no surreptitious way to descend the stairs without being seen. You would have to find another way to the bottom, and that presented a challenge. There were at least 2 large lead pipes running vertically on every wall, and the western wall appeared to have narrow ledges at each level. Snake could visualize a route along one of the ledges, but it would be extremely hazardous. One slip, one misstep, and he would fall to a molten death. Not only that, but the gigantic smelting arm, a mechanized lever that clutched, lifted, and moved heavy hot objects, was rotating around the room. On each orbit, the claw came extremely close to the western wall. Snake counted the seconds of a single rotation and came up with the number 35. It's doable, but after quickly studying the rest of the room, he came to the conclusion that it was his only course. Still carrying the sniper rifle on his back, he darted across the platform to the catwalk that led closest to the western wall. To leap from the building, landing to the ledge on the wall, he needed a diversion. He dug into the pouch, removed a frag grenade, pulled the pin, and dropped the explosive. It detonated a few feet above the smelting pit. Snake was thankful the genome soldiers weren't very bright, despite their 180 IQ. Which is the same as Snake's, but then again, he's also kind of a dumbass. So, you know. They all stopped what they were doing to gaze at the blast, scratch their heads, and give one another questioning glances. By then, Snake had jumped to the ledge, but he struggled to keep his balance. There's nothing to hold on to, and the ledge was no more than a foot wide. It was a feat more suited to a circus performer accustomed to acrobatics and aerial daring-do. Once his weight was stabilized, Snake took a deep breath and dared to look down at the soldiers. They hadn't noticed him. He heard one man mutter that the molten oil in the smelting pit had bubbled up and popped. They were one about their business, and so did Snake. Step by step, Snake felt as if he were walking a tightrope without a safety net. The only difference was that he was navigating the ledge while standing against a flat wall, which made it all the more difficult. He hadn't moved 10 feet when he heard a loud, cranking noise approaching. The smelting arm! He squatted in place, almost losing his balance again. The huge mechanical limb swerved over his shoulder and continued its orbit around the room. Snake took another deep breath, slowly stood up, and resumed his crossing. It was a dizzying sensation. He had never encountered symptoms resembling vertigo, but for some reason the heat, the noise, and the dangerous height all contributed to an onset of lightheadedness. What do you expect? He asked himself. After all, he'd been on the move for well over 12 hours, had very little rest, had undergone severe torture that literally had given a shock to his system, and had eaten only the patients he'd brought with him, and had been a human punching bag several times over. It was a miracle he was still alive, much less still standing. Those thoughts might have demoralized an ordinary person, but for Snake, they were incentives to stay on the course. Master Miller had a saying, when the going gets tough, the tough beat the shit out of everyone else. When the going gets tough, the tough get tough. Even Vicky knew that, not right? It's just, whenever I see that, I'm just like, when the going gets tough, the tough get tough. Even Vicky knew that, not right? Snake lived by that adage, and he hated to lose. He would finish the mission successfully, but it'd be no use returning to his home in the Alaskan wilderness. Other than, doggos. Doggos? 50 doggos. I love David, you guys. He's my favorite. I mean, this should be pretty obvious considering the only books I bought. The only ones I have are the ones I save. So, I kind of want to buy the Metal Gear novelization, like the original one. The really bad one. And so, just so I can read it on here. And then I could donate it to, like, the library or something. I don't know. Like, the library needs more Metal Gear. My library needs more Metal Gear, okay? Okay. The mechanical arm came around again. This time Snake touched without thinking. After having been through the cycle once, he had no trouble adapting to it and building into his rhythm the anticipation of the machine's approach. Before he knew it, he was on the other side of the pit. His target all along was one of the thick pipes that ran vertically from the ceiling to the floor. It was roughly a foot in diameter and was made of lead. The surface was hot, so Snake quickly slipped on his gloves, grasped the pipe with his legs and hands, and began to descend as if the pipe were a rope. He was halfway down when an alarm blared through the steel legs. The guards on the various platforms jumped to attention and ran down the stairs to the bottom, gathered in a huddle, and then searched and spread out around the smoldering pit. They obviously were searching for something, or someone, but in separating, the guards left the space around the bottom of the pipe clear. Snake slid down without being seen, hugged the wall, and crept closer to the cargo elevator. But they were waiting for him just beyond the other side of the pit. 4 guards ambushed him, taking Snake completely by surprise. 2 men grabbed him by the arms, and another forced him toward the smelting pit. Snake struggled against them, but was overpowered and unmatched. The soldiers pushed and dragged him closer to the pit, with the intent to throw him into the molten hot liquid. It was time to fight dirty. Only in cases of extreme emergency did Snake resort to unethical techniques, but he figured that was all fair. That all was fair when you were fighting for your life. Snake twisted his body to the right and kneed the man holding his arm directly in the groin. The soldier let go of him, cried out in pain, and dropped to the floor. The freeing of his right arm allowed Snake to swing it hard at the man to his left, crushing the soldier's Adam's apple. Then, in the time it took to blink, Snake elbowed the man directly behind him in the sternum, crushing the bone and stopping the guy's side. Oh my god. Jeff the Killer flashback. Just like punches a dude so hard as I stop. Now restricted by the grasp of the ambushers, Snake turned and kicked the 4th genome trooper between the legs. The soldier froze in shock and pain long enough for Snake to pick him up by the neck and calmly toss him into the smelting pit. The guy's scream quickly was extinguished by lava-hot metal. You mean he didn't bounce up? What? My life is a lie! Lava's not bouncy, man! Oh my god. All that had taken approximately 4.8 seconds. Snake considered disposing of the other three other men in the same fashion, but he didn't bother. He'd wasted enough time as it was, so he simply kicked the 2 conscious men in the head to send them to treatment. Thankfully, the cargo elevator was empty when the doors opened. Snake stepped inside and pushed the button to descend to the lower level. Snake! Master Miller was on the codec. Snake answered and said, "Hey, you know what you once said about..." "Never mind that, Snake. I have something to tell you." "What?" "Is this conversation secure?" "Don't worry, the monitor's off, and we're on the frequency you picked before." Okay.
What's up?
It's about Naomi Hunter. Snake felt a shiver of dread.
What about her?
I was in the FBI too, you know. When? When? When were you in the FBI, Kaz?
I didn't know that.
Snake said.
But what's your point?
Dr. Hunter's story about her background, about her grandfather being an assistant secretary to Hoover in the FBI and then going undercover to investigate the mafia in New York.
Yeah, what about it?
It's all a big lie.
How do you know?
J. Edgar Hoover was a racist, Snake. Dr. Hunter's father was Japanese.
So?
Back then, there wasn't a single Asian investigator. Also, the undercover mafia sting operations hadn't started at the time she claims. And they started in Chicago, not New York. But you better check it out. The DARPA chief and the IMSEC president dying like they did and that ninja. Too many strange things are happening.
Are you saying Naomi might be behind it?
I don't know. Either that or she's working with the terrorists.
I can't believe it.
Snake rubbed his brow and shook his head.
Could it be?
If I find out any more, I'll call. In the meantime, be careful. Miller signed off, leaving a weary and mistrustful Snake alone, just as the cargo elevator came to a stop. It's a crow or a raven. I love corvids. My God, Snake thought they even gave the thing sound effects. I don't know why that makes me laugh. I don't know why so much stuff in this makes me laugh, other than Metal Gear is kind of silly sometimes. You know. Metal Gear is kind of silly sometimes. That's an understatement, honestly. It's very silly all the time. All the time. Every time. All the time. This is a short video. What? Okay. So, if you like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I need to clean my room. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!